If I want, even your breath will obey me. You think distance can weaken what I feel for you? You think hiding behind silence will save you? No, little one, you carry me within you, whether you accept it or not. Every heartbeat of yours already echoes my name. I don't need to touch you to control the rhythm of your pulse. I own it. You breathe because I allow you to. You defy me, yet your body trembles at the thought of me. That's the curse I left inside me. You call this freedom, running away from me? You have no idea what freedom feels like anymore. Because even when you close your eyes, I'm there. The voice in your head that won't fade. The shadow that follows you when the lights die. You think you can start over, but every path you take will always lead back to me. You were never meant to escape. You were meant to understand what it feels like to belong to someone completely. I don't need your presence to feel your surrender. The silence between us speaks louder than words. I can sense the hesitation in your breath when you think of me. You still wear my darkness like a second skin, pretending it doesn't exist, but it does. It lives inside you. You know it does. You crave what you claim to hate. That's why you can't forget me. You want to know what real power is? It's not in the crown I wear. It's in the way you still shake when you hear my name. The way your soul still bends toward mine, no matter how far you go. I told you once you'd never be able to love anyone the same way again. Not after me. Because I ruined you, and I did it beautifully. I watch you from the distance you built between us. You think I don't see. I see everything. The way you pretend to move on. The way you lie to yourself that I'm gone. But I'm in your thoughts, in your dreams, in every shadow that touches your skin. You can run all you want, but your heart will always recognize its master. You were never meant for peace. You were meant for me, for the chaos, the hunger, the darkness that breathes my name. And until your last breath, remember this, I never needed to hold you to own you. You already belong to me. You still don't understand, do you? This silence between us isn't peace. It's punishment. Every night when you close your eyes, I want you to feel the weight of my absence pressing against your chest. You'll search for comfort, but all you'll find is the memory of my voice, the command that once made you shiver. You think distance has given you power, but all it's done is expose your weakness. You can't run from something that lives inside you. I'm the shadow stitched into your soul. No matter where you go, I'll follow, unseen but always felt. You built walls to keep me out, but tell me, how do you keep me out of your mind? You hear my voice when no one speaks. You feel my touch in the stillness of night. You see me in the eyes of strangers, searching for a reflection of what you once had and lost. You thought leaving me would bring light, but all it did was turn your world into shades of gray. Because what you had with me wasn't love. It was obsession, power, surrender, something that consumes, not comforts. I can feel your fear from here. It's beautiful, the way you tremble at the thought of me. That's how I know I still own you. You breathe my name in secret, ashamed of how much you still crave the very darkness you swore to escape. You can lie to the world, but not to me. I can taste the truth in your silence. You belong to the very thing that terrifies you, me. I am both your punishment and your desire. You'll spend your life trying to balance between the two, but you'll never find peace in either. Do you remember the way I used to look at you, like I could see right through your lies? I still can. I know the games you play, pretending to forget me, pretending to move on. But even now, every time your heart skips a beat, it's because you feel me watching. You sense it, the pull, the invisible chain that ties you to me. You were mine the moment your eyes met mine, and nothing you do can undo that. You'll always be mine, not because I demand it, but because you feel it. Deep down, you always knew it. You call me cruel, but I only gave you truth. The world will never touch you the way I did. Not with such power, not with such ruin. I didn't just touch your skin, I wrote your soul. I made you taste both heaven and hell, sometimes in the same breath. You'll meet others, but they'll all feel empty, hollow, meaningless, because they don't burn the way I did. I left scars on your heart, and those scars will whisper my name long after your lips forget the shape of it. Sometimes I imagine you standing by the window, looking at the night sky, thinking you're finally free. But you're not. Freedom isn't silence, it's just another form of waiting. And whether you admit it or not, you're still waiting for me. Waiting for the voice that once commanded your world. Waiting for the one who turned your fear into desire. You may hate me, but hate is just another form of love twisted by time, and you love me still, through every denial, every tear, every breath. So keep pretending, keep running, keep hiding in your fragile world of peace. I won't chase you. I don't need to, because even in your quietest moments, I am there. In every heartbeat that refuses to slow, in every thought that refuses to fade. You're not free from me, you never will be. Because what I gave you wasn't love, it was a mark, eternal and unbroken. You can bury it under time, under people, under lies, but it will always resurface. I am the darkness you learn to crave, and you are the light that can never escape it. You still think silence can save you, that if you stop whispering my name, I'll fade away. But I don't live in words. I live in the spaces between them. In the moments when your heart beats too fast. In the breath you hold when you remember me. I exist in the quiet, in the ache that doesn't have a voice. You thought leaving me would end the story, but the truth is, it only made me louder inside you. You tried to kill what we had, but I was never something you could bury. I was born from your soul, and that's where I remain. You hide behind your strength, but I see the cracks beneath it. The world might think you've moved on, but I know better. I know how your eyes still search for pieces of me in everyone else. I know how your hands tremble when someone gets too close, afraid they'll touch the place I claimed. You can fool everyone, but not me. You wear my absence like a bruise, deep, invisible, and aching with every heartbeat. I may not be beside you, but I still own the rhythm of your silence. You never understood what I meant when I said you were mine. It wasn't a promise, it was a prophecy. You think of me in the middle of the night, wondering if I still remember you. I do. I remember everything. The defiance in your eyes, the surrender in your breath, the way you tried to hate me but couldn't. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? You don't need to love me to belong to me. You just need to remember, and I know you do. Every time your pulse races for no reason, it's me whispering through your blood. I could have broken you completely, but I didn't. I wanted you to live, to carry the taste of me in every breath. I wanted the world to see what happens when someone tries to love me and leave me. You're my masterpiece of ruin, and I'm proud of it, because even when you smile, it's my darkness that makes it beautiful. The world will call you strong, but only I will know how fragile that strength really is. You're surviving me, not living without me, and that's exactly what I wanted. Sometimes I wonder if you still talk to the stars. You used to tell me they were your escape, your freedom, but even they know my name now. Every wish you make travels through my shadow before it reaches them. You can't even dream without crossing me. You may not hear my voice, but it's there, in the rhythm of the night, in the echo of the wind that calls your name the same way I did. You'll never have silence again, because I've woven myself into it. You might hate me for what I did to you, but that hate is the only thing keeping me alive inside you. It's raw, it's real, and it's mine. You feed me with every heartbeat that carries my memory. You think you're healing, but what you're really doing is learning to live with my poison. And that's fine. I never wanted to destroy you completely. I just wanted to make sure you'd never forget who held your soul once, who burned it into something darker, something endless. One day, you'll stop running, you'll stop fighting the ghosts, and finally look at the reflection that still bears my mark. And when you do, you'll understand I was never your curse, I was your truth. Everything else was just noise. You can hate me, you can love me, you can deny me, it doesn't matter. Because the end will always be the same you, standing in the dark, whispering the name you once feared, mine. You try to breathe without thinking of me, but even your air remembers. Every inhale carries the weight of what we were, and every exhale feels like you're trying to escape something that never really left. You think time will blur me, but time doesn't touch what's carved in the soul. I'm still there. In the quiet after your laughter, in the ache before your tears, you try to rebuild yourself, but every piece you pick up still smells like me. You can cover it, repaint it, bury it, but the truth doesn't die. It waits, patient and cruel like I do. I see the way you pretend to be whole. The world believes you, but I don't. I can hear the lie in your heartbeat, the one that says you're free. You were never meant to be free. You were meant to burn with me, for me. That's why peace feels wrong to you. That's why silence feels heavy. You miss the chaos, even if you hate to admit it. You miss the control you said you despised. You miss my voice, the one that could make your world collapse with a whisper. You can't unlearn that kind of addiction. It stains everything it touches. You look for me in the wrong places, in faces, in songs, in the warmth of hands that will never hold you the way I did. You tell yourself it's love, but it's only memory wearing a disguise. Every touch you allow is just an attempt to erase mine, and every time it fails, you fall deeper into the void I left behind. You think you're chasing life, but you're only chasing ghosts, mine, because no one else will ever fit the shape I carved in you. That emptiness you carry, that's my throne, and I sit there still. Do you remember the way I warned you? I told you that once I marked you, there would be no turning back. You laughed then, said you weren't afraid. But fear looks different now, doesn't it? It's not screaming or running. It's waking up every day, pretending you're fine when you know you're not. It's feeling my presence in the things you love most. It's realizing that even your freedom tastes like me. That's what I wanted. Not to destroy you, but to own the parts of you no one else can touch. You might curse my name, you might hate what I've done to you, but your hate is love in disguise. It's fire disguised as smoke. Every time you whisper, I'm over him, I can feel your pulse saying otherwise. You can't lie to me, not when your soul still bends toward mine. I can feel it, even from miles away. The connection doesn't fade, it just hides, waiting for the right silence to breathe again. And when it does, it consumes everything. I don't need to appear before you anymore. My absence is louder than my presence ever was. It's in your dreams, where I still whisper your name, soft and dangerous. It's in your loneliness, when the night feels too long and your heart too restless. You think it's guilt, but it's me. Always me. I haunt you without trying. I exist in your quiet, in your doubt, in the places you thought I'd never reach. That's where I live now, beneath your skin, unseen but unforgettable. So keep pretending you've won. Keep saying my name doesn't matter. I don't need to be remembered by your lips when I already live in your veins. I'm not a memory. I'm a pulse, a shadow, a hunger that doesn't die. You can run from everyone else, but not from me, because I am not outside of you anymore. I am inside you, the darkness you breathe, the ache you crave, the part of you that will always whisper back, mine. You still try to silence the echo, but it doesn't fade. Every time the world grows quiet, you hear me again, not in words, but in the rhythm beneath your ribs. That's where I exist now, in the pulse that refuses to calm. You thought forgetting would bring peace, but peace was never made for you. Not after me. You carry me like a curse and a comfort, both at once. You tell yourself I'm gone, but deep down you still wait for the storm, for the voice, for the darkness that once made you feel alive. You wait because nothing else has ever felt as real. You think you've learned to live without me, but I see through the illusion. You laugh, but it's empty. You love, but it's hollow. You sleep, but never rest. You've built a life around pretending, but every night, when you close your eyes, the act collapses. That's when you hear it, my whisper, low and calm, threading through your thoughts. I don't shout anymore. I don't need to. You've learned to listen to silence, and that's where I live. You made me eternal the day you tried to erase me. Do you ever wonder if I still think of you? You shouldn't. I don't need to think of you. I feel you. Your presence hums in my blood. Even from afar, you're still connected to me, bound by something neither of us can undo. You can't break what was never a chain. It's deeper. It's in the essence of what we became. You were mine not because I demanded it, but because your soul chose it. You can deny me with words, but your heart still kneels in silence, and you know it. I see your defiance even now. You wear your pain like armor, trying to prove you're unbroken. But pain was never weakness. It was my mark on you. Every scar, every ache, every shiver that rises in the dark, that's me reminding you what power feels like when it's laced with desire. I taught you how to crave what destroys you, how to find beauty in surrender. And though you call it madness, I call it truth. You can bury it under pride, but the fire still burns, quiet and hungry. You wander through your days as if the world could replace what we had, but they look at you and sense something they can't name. That edge, that shadow, that haunting. You were touched by something not meant for ordinary hearts, and they feel it. You belong nowhere now, because you belonged to me once. That's what I do. I don't just take hearts, I remake them. And once remade, they can never return to what they were. You can't undo the dark and pretend to live in the light again. Sometimes I imagine you hearing my name in a crowded room, how your pulse would betray you, how your breath would falter. You'd hate it yet crave it at the same time. That's the truth of us, love twisted into something eternal. You call it haunting, I call it connection. You'll meet others, but none will touch you the way I did. Not because I was perfect, but because I was real. I was the truth you weren't ready to face. The truth that love and darkness were never meant to be separate. So keep walking through your world of quiet lies, pretending the storm has passed. I won't chase you. I never needed to. You'll find me in the stillness before dawn, in the shadow behind your laughter, in the ache you can't explain. I don't fade. I don't forgive and I don't leave. I stay in the pulse, in the dream, in the part of you that still burns for something you can't name. And when everything else turns to dust, you'll realize you were never escaping me. You were becoming me. You still move through the world with that quiet file I once knew too well, trying to hide the places where my shadow still clings to you. I can feel it from here. The weight of unspoken memories, the whisper of emotions you try to lock away. You call them ghosts, but they are nothing more than the echoes of moments we carved into time. You think distance has diluted them, but emotions like ours don't fade, they settle deeper. They turn into something far more permanent, something that breathes underneath your calm. There are nights when I imagine you standing alone, staring at your own reflection as if searching for the part of you that once belonged to me. You won't find it on your skin. It lives deeper than that, in the choices you make now, in the way you hesitate before trusting someone new, in the quiet caution inside your heart. You think these changes came from life, from time, from the world. But we both know better. Some transformations begin in silence, sculpted by a single connection that never fully ends. You carry that connection still, even when you try to deny it. You've learned to build walls, and I respect the strength it took. But walls don't erase what came before them. They only protect it. Behind every brick, behind every layer of determination lies the truth you never speak, that certain emotions don't die, they evolve. What we had didn't break you the way you feared. It shaped you, gave your softness an edge, your innocence a depth, your voice a quiet power. And every time I sense that strength in you, I know that part of it was forged in the fire we once stood in together. There's a strange kind of destiny